Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's May 7th, 2013. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Shimbano. We had a little bit of a turnaround Tuesday here today. Let's turn over to Fire Tip to see how we ended in Chicago. Corn was up 3 1/4 cents for July. Soybeans for July was up 13 1/4. Wheat in Chicago for July was up 5 cents. And Kansas City wheat for July was down just a half a cent here today. You know, Logan, it does look like we did turn around after yesterday's sell-off.
Yeah, absolutely, Brock. You know, we saw soybeans have a little bit of strength here on the old crop. Didn't really seem like fundamentally there was a lot of news to push that higher today. It seems like we had just a nice little rebound, I guess, in kind of a downward channel that we've been trading. You know, my expectations for this are for this old crop soybean market to continue to kind of slide lower here. On corn, though, we had an interesting trade today. Ended the day up 3 1/4. Let's take a look here at a daily candlestick chart of the July contract. As you can see here, we have this gap left on the chart. The bottom side here is 652. The top side 657 3/4. And a lot of technical traders are going to be looking for that gap to be filled here. I think for the remainder of the week and certainly on Friday's WASDE report, that's really going to drive whether we fill this gap or not. I guess if we did not have the WASDE report coming down the pipe on Friday, I'd be a little bit skeptical there if the fundamentals are in place. Tomorrow we will be getting EIA ethanol production numbers, and we did see the ethanol crush margin back off a little bit last week, so I don't know if that's going to be giving the corn market a real boost higher here in the days to come. But bottom line, we do have this chart area, so keep an eye on that. As we said, the bottom side of that range 652, top side 657 3/4. But you know, here moving forward, Brock, really a lot of focus right now is on the May WASDE report coming down the pipe on Friday. We got some expectations out today. What are we kind of looking at there?
If we take a look at this table, it's what the results are of the Reuters poll of analysts and what they expect the USDA to print on Friday as it pertains to ending stocks here domestically. The first column is the average guess. So for corn, we're looking at 749 million bushels. Soybeans, 123 million bushels, and all wheat at 733. So a slight uptick for for wheat, but slight downticks for both corn and for soybeans. But I think another number that the trade's really going to be looking at is the average guess for the 13-14 ending stocks as we're getting a little bit farther along in the production season for 13-14. Take a look at this last column here. You can see that we're expecting, or analysts are expecting, about 1.99 billion bushels for corn on ending stocks next year. Soybeans 236 million and wheat 658. So slightly lower on wheat next year, slightly higher for soybeans, but a big number for corn coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, that's a massive number for corn. And one thing that's been catching a lot of attention recently is the question, will the USDA revise their production forecast in light of the planting delays that we've seen this year? And you know, here at Grain Hedge, we're not in the camp that we're going to see significant downgrades from the USDA in this report anyways. We've looked back at some years where we also struggled to get this this crop planted. 1 year to note was 1993. This week in the marketing year, that year we had 18% of the crop planted. That compares to 12 reported yesterday by the USDA. And we didn't see the USDA make any revisions from their March planting report in that year's May WASDE report. So bottom line, I guess historically, there's not a lot of data to support the USDA is going to stick their neck out there on Friday's numbers. And really, if we look at the pace of things, it's still possible to get this crop planted in a timely fashion. Certainly, we have a good planting window coming down the pipe here over the next couple weeks, and soil moistures have improved quite a bit from where we saw them a few months ago.
Yeah, they really have. Let's take a look at the Planalytics crop moisture anomaly map here provided by Planalytics. You can see that across a greater part of the Midwest over the last reporting period, this is for the week ending May 4th, you can see that we did improve quite a bit on the crop moisture, especially in those parts of Iowa, Illinois, you know, even out in the western part of the Corn Belt in Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, some of those areas. But if we take a look at the actual soil moisture capacity right now, you can see that we are still lacking a little bit of moisture in those parts of western Nebraska, western Kansas, a little bit of Oklahoma, but the vast majority of the heart of the Midwest has plenty of moisture right now, very saturated, around 100% or so. So it just is a matter of if we get the crops in the ground, we should be off to a good start with ample moisture across the Midwest.
Right now all indications are that there is going to be a good planting window here over the next couple weeks, and certainly it's not where people would like to see it at this time of the year, but I think that time still does remain for this crop, and accordingly I don't think the USDA is going to be real anxious to make a big production downgrade in Friday's numbers in light of the planting. But we'll keep discussing the Friday report here as we move through the week here on GrainTV. You know, coming down the pipe tomorrow, we do have EIA ethanol numbers out. As I said, the crush margin in Iowa has backed off a little bit here last week. We now see it about $1.74 per bushel. That's down from just over $2 per bushel in the last several weeks. So don't expect a huge number from the EIA tomorrow there. We'll be tweeting about that number when it comes out on Twitter. You can find us over there at GrainTV. And then Thursday, we have the export sales report. So the remainder of this week, we have a lot of fundamental news that should be affecting corn, soybeans, and wheat, and we'll keep you posted on them here on GrainTV. Thanks a lot for joining us here for a Tuesday, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'll have to be honest with you. First thing I'm going to mention right up front is it's free. I like this service when it's free because, you know, you can tie up a lot of money in different services, and from experience I found out that sometimes you can pay a lot of money and you may not be getting that much out of it.